Okay, so that's gonna be take two. I actually recorded this video before, but I had a mosquito bite and I couldn't stop itching my back. So we're back at it again. Today I wanted to talk about the problem with the identity of being a comedian that I had. Or basically why I quit stand-up comedy. So, this is back when I was living in Los Angeles. I had gone back after going to acting school, and I was just living there I was living there to become an actor. Didn't find that much of success, and in the meantime, I guess I sort of stopped acting, especially after so little success. And then I tried my hand at stand-up, and then I found that maybe I can do both. A lot of people were doing that back then, acting and stand-up. So I gave stand-up comedy a shot. And at first it wasn't so bad. And I don't hate stand-up or anything after this one, don't you know? I met a lot of cool people, made a lot of friends, and I was doing open mics here and there. And there was this one time where it was at this club I went to like almost every night, because it was in Los Angeles. I don't know if this is universal or like true for every country or city or state or whatever, but in Los Angeles, nighttime, especially a Friday or Saturday night, is when stand-up comedy tends to attract more audiences, because it's Friday, Saturday night, people don't work tomorrow, they're getting off work that day, so they're going in, getting some drinks, getting some food, just watching some people on stage be funny. So I figured that, I saw myself as a funny person, and I figured it was something I could do. So I gave it a shot, and, at first it wasn't so bad. I was, getting laughs here and there. I'm not a pro at it. I don't even think I'm that good at it. I would tell some of my friends about it, like the guy I worked at the grocery store. I go after my shift. And I told some guys about it, and they came to like one of my shows, and they were supportive, they laughed. But the problem was, and this is where the identity issue comes in, is that here's what happened first. Word got out, and a lot of people were, I guess for whatever reason, they found the idea of knowing someone who does stand-up comedy as really interesting. As far as why, my theory would be that somebody who makes audiences laugh will make them laugh nonstop. And this is where the identity issue comes in. I'll tell you about that later. So, people will support me. They were so glad I was doing stand-up or whatever. I guess they thought, knowing a funny guy was a good thing. And at first, the kind of attention that I got from that was good, but over time, I started not to like it, because when I was working my shifts in my department at the grocery store, my coworkers would try to workshop jokes with me. They would like pitch their ideas and their jokes to me. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, I didn't like them. I thought they were bad. Like, not funny. Or at least, I couldn't think of a way to make it funny. And then there was another coworker of mine, and he didn't even go to any of my shows. But he insisted that I'd always be on. He saw me, he'd always think I was ready to Kevin Hart the place. Be the next Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, something like that. And he just expected me to joke. He'd be all joke. He would just be weird. He'd be trying to like joke around with me, saying this weird stuff to me and things like that. And it's just, at some point, I get it. You want to laugh and have fun, but like at some point, it got kind of irritating. And I never actually yelled at him or cussed at him or told him to stop. At some point, he just did. I don't know. Maybe he figured that it just wasn't working out. I'm not working out. That it wasn't that I wasn't enjoying it. Maybe he figured I wasn't enjoying it. And there was also the fact that eventually I stopped. Eventually he just calmed down and things went back to normal, I guess. And this plays in the whole identity thing, because a lot of people expected that of me, and I found myself going to do stand-up routines, open mics, just because people expected me to, and they weren't even showing up. Or it and you're probably thinking, well, if they're not showing up, why are you doing it for them? And like I said, it was expected of me, and that they kind of tied that to my identity, and that's what made me realize that I just didn't want to do it anymore, because I wasn't doing it for me, I was doing it for them. So ultimately, I called it quits. I stopped doing stand-up. People, mostly left me alone about it. There was this one guy. I think he just kept forgetting that I didn't do it anymore because he'd ask when my next show was. He's a good friend. He just forgot, and I had to remind him that I didn't do it anymore. And I tell him I'm done with that, man. I basically just went back to regular acting. Got a few other gigs, but nothing life changing. And it taught me that. Before I say that, that had nothing to do with it. When I told people that I did stand up and that I stopped doing it, a lot of them assumed it came from like a lack of confidence, and that's not the problem. I mean, when I was doing it, I wasn't a pro. I mean, I got some laughs here and there. It just wasn't something I wanted to pursue. I didn't see myself doing this long term, as opposed to acting. Now I got into the improv scene, and honestly, that was something that's what I liked more. That's what I preferred. And I just kind of stuck with that for a bit, at least when I was living in Los Angeles. I haven't done it in a while now. And I think I made the right choice, because there was times where I was signing up for a open mic night, and I just didn't feel like doing it. I wanted to, I'd rather just be anywhere else. And that should have been a sign, but like I said, I was so committed to what doing what people expected me to, that I just ignored it, went, and I didn't half-ass my shows or anything. I rehearsed my jokes, and I gave a good performance. And eventually I just stopped it, got back to acting, like I said, yeah, you already know this, and I haven't done it since. And I'm not saying that I hate stand-up comedy, because I don't. If you want to do it, hey, by all means, go ahead. I might even watch it sometimes, but it just wasn't the life I wanted. And I encourage other people who are watching this to find what they want to do. Don't just do something because everybody thinks you should do it. You know what I mean? Because my situation, I just wasn't happy with it. And identity, and this also plays into how my YouTube channel is gonna go, because, like I said, it was almost just a YouTube comedy channel, but one of the reasons why I didn't want to do that is because, well, you've watched other videos. I say I want to tell different stories, but it was also just I couldn't really. I had trouble finding people who actually wanted to help me out. I'll be honest. And I want to do something different naturally. I want to stand out. But it was hard for me to find other people to help me, because from my experience living in Los Angeles, just about anybody who's involved with creating content, or if they got their own YouTube channel, they're usually pretty busy, because they understand that to maintain something like that, they have to be consistent. So they're gonna work on their own thing, and maybe they were trying to be nice, but they really weren't jumping at the opportunity to help me out, even though I would put some kind of pseudo casting call. I didn't get a lot of takers, sadly. It just didn't happen, but that's okay. I mean, I'm rebranding the channel anyway, so I'm not bothered by that at all. And like I said, I understand people are busy, making their own content, or being the other people's content, or maybe they're actors themselves and they got films or TV shows they're starring in. I understand that. So I didn't take it personal, and like I said, I'm rebranding the channel anyway. But I think it's interesting that me not wanting this to be a comedy channel and me choosing to stop stand-up comedy kind of it's kind of parallel. It mirrors each other, you know. And I'll still make some funny stuff, I guess. You know, I'm not like completely without my humor. I'm an actor. I was trying to be an actor first, so improv and comedy came afterward. So I don't even think I'm a comedian. I'm more like I'm an actor with a sense of humor. But I think that's all I got for y'all today. If you're still watching, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I know some people ask other people to like and subscribe, but if you like this content, if you like the video and you like what I'm making, then you'll do that on your own. I shouldn't have to tell you to do that. But like I said, thanks for watching, and I tried a new angle today. Still haven't edited yet.